want to talk to you about the Black Lives Matter protest in London yesterday. It happened last night at Hyde Park. Thousands upon thousands of people bunched together in Hyde Park to protest a horrible crime. Undoubtedly a horrible, foul, disgusting crime. The murder of George Floyd. Bearing in mind the officer has now been charged with second-degree murder. 3 more officers charged with aiding and abetting murder, and quite rightly too. But it happened in Minnesota 9 days ago. There have been protests across the United States where undoubtedly police violence against young black men is definitely an issue. It's a very important issue. It is one to feel strongly about, to be appalled by, and to want to change. Why, though, anyone thinks it's a good idea or justifiable to join a mass protest in a park in London, standing very close together, people arms around each other, completely against the rules of social distancing in the middle of a pandemic, defies belief. Yes, people feel strongly about this. I feel strongly about this. It's a horrible crime. But feeling strongly about something doesn't entitle you to break the law. Feeling strongly about something doesn't entitle you to put other people's lives at risk. Yes, black lives matter, white lives matter, everyone's lives matter. But you know whose lives matter? Those people who were protesting in London last night, who they will pass by in the supermarket, friends that they will be seeing in the next few days, who maybe might be visiting their relatives for the first time as the lockdown is gradually lifted, who will then be put at risk of getting the virus because they felt strongly about something that happened in America under another jurisdiction 9 days ago. Yes, we should speak truth to power. Yes, we should speak out when we are angry about a horrific crime like the killing of George Floyd. But we don't need to put other lives at risk. What amazes me is how few of the people who were very happy to criticise the COVID idiots going to the beach, very happy to criticise, as I was, Dominic Cummings for his 260-mile jaunt up to Durham, but are suspiciously quiet now. I wonder why. And what about the fact that it is quite clearly a breach of the law not to socially distance and to meet up in groups of more than 6? These were groups of thousands. And yet the police did nothing. There were people graffitiing walls, and the police did nothing. There were people throwing bottles, throwing railings into Downing Street, for goodness sake, and the police did nothing. Barely even got a mention on a lot of the media. The BBC article on their website, which they have thousands of journalists, barely makes a mention. Just a one paragraph. There were some images of on social media of violence. Yes, taken by people at the scene, some of them are journalists. What I did see police doing, other than not actually policing and enforcing the law, was taking a knee. Police officers kneeling down during an illegal protest to show that they are also on the side of those who were protesting. You don't need to virtue signal the fact that you don't think that black men should be killed by racist white cops in another country. I think that in this country is a given. And don't tell me we've got the same level of problem here in the UK. Absolutely. We have seen black men dying at the hands of police officers. Yes, we have. Last year there were 3 people killed by police officers in this country. Terrible, eh? Terrible. 2 of them were terrorists carrying out terror attacks at the time they were shot. So forgive me for being delighted that the police opened fire on those men. It's time that we got a grip here. I am fed up with the virtue signalling, the need for people to tiptoe around on certain issues. You've got a bunch of people who are themselves largely ethnic minority yesterday, at highest risk, apparently we're told, of dying of this virus. We're supposed to be so concerned about that because they should be protected. Choosing themselves to break the law, some, not all, obviously a small minority, committing violence against the police, and nothing is done by the police. And yeah, if you go on holiday to Spain and you come back, you're expected to face 2 weeks in quarantine or £1,000 fine. Really? Do you think that's fair? I don't think I do, and I don't think many people in this country do. It's really time for the government and the police, frankly, to get a grip.